But I want to start with talking about Combiner Wars.
Okay.
And the design process.
Okay.
So when you're going and you're approaching a combiner, what trade-offs do you have to make, to enable that combined mode versus just an individual regular deluxe figure? I mean, how do you approach that, and what trade-offs do you make, and which ones won't you make?
Well, a lot of that comes down to the complexity and the type of transformation. We'll work with Takara Tomy on the early stages to kind of define how much character mode or bot mode can be sacrificed versus how much the vehicle mode can be sacrificed. And most of the time, because of the simplicity, or actually I should call it more like they're sort of intuitive, the way Combiner Wars toys transform. It actually allows for the combiner joint to kind of become a seamless part of the design. But if you look at a character like Skylynx, who has kind of a different posture or sentient mode, his shuttle beast, or whatever you want to call it, mode, really presented some unique challenges because of the fact that not only was it transformation that Takara Tomy really wasn't familiar with, we also knew that because of the combiner mode, we had to kind of get a little crafty about where the connection points are. And definitely quality control and engineering play a big part of it as well. Because when we test our toys, we test them for not just the fans, but to withstand play from some of our new fans as well, the kids. So the pieces of the combiner, when you look at them together, we try to. And then honestly, they're all like triple changers. You have to try to figure out what is the leg mode or arm mode or quadruple changers in case of the deluxes. And then for the Voyagers, like what is the chest plate going to look like? How are you going to hide the head in there? And all of those things definitely drive the design. It's a back and forth with our partners at Takara Tomy to try to deliver not only on the sentient mode, but also the alt modes and the combiner mode. It's a crazy balancing act.
So speaking of Skylynx, how much fun was it to pull him out of the bag at BotCon and sort of, because that was out of the blue. I mean, if you would have said, well, what homage do you think you'll see in 2015? Skylynx would not have been on my list. So,
what's fun there is that it was, and we were so excited. I mean, you look at the development team, really, John, it pushed for to do that character of Skylynx, and to bring a classic character like that back in today, bring it in and reinvent it as a combiner, was so fun. To me, doing that at BotCon, I've done quite a few panels now over the years. It's been a long time since, from the fan reaction, the roar of the crowd, I actually had goosebumps on my arms and the back of my neck. And you kind of get, I don't want to say numb to it a little bit, because we do it's a lot of awesome stuff and just so much engagement. But it really took me back how the fans reacted to that. We knew it would be exciting, but they just exploded. They exploded, and so it was great to see that from that. When you're proud that, hey, the decision we made to push the character, to do it, that the fans really embraced it, and to see that character come back, it's just fun.
Bottom line, it was such a huge reward. It was awesome to have worked on Skylynx and put so much love into it, and like Jerry said, to kind of this reinventing this character, and then to see the fans like completely be on board and not just be on board, but it was this collective gasp that changed into a cheer. It was like it was the awesomest feeling, and Jerry's right. I got goosebumps. It was you don't experience that too much on a panel, and it was really exciting.
Yeah, that's how you know you did something special, right?
Exactly, and you're like, wow, that's awesome. Like when you see a reaction like that, and I think the reaction overall for Combiner Wars has been that, and just to see the fans really embracing it and loving it. I mean, it makes us feel proud. Like we did the right job. We did our jobs right, and we're creating an experience for the fans and for future generations of toy collectors, kids that are into it, and we're paving the way for the future. Fun.
So if you had one more homage spot that you could fill just at whim, anyone from Transformers lore, who would you fill that spot with?
For a Combiner War, you mean?
Let's just say a standalone. We'll keep you free for just, there's one open spot, like, we need a holiday 60 or any character. Who would you whip out of the bag?
I've got a couple that I would, I think when you think of characters we haven't done in a while, I love Omega Supreme. I'd love to see a new Omega Supreme done, and in kind of what we're doing. I think when you look at characters like Scorponok, Trypticon, the Piranha, Trypticon,
Chronicon.
I mean, I think when you look at those characters, would be amazing to bring.
These are pretty big guys.
You know, like it's those are some. But I think you're seeing that you're seeing characters that come back like, wow, it's a perfect time to bring that character back and reinvent that character. The Combiner Wars allowed us to dip into a lot of characters that we haven't done in a while. To reinvent Devastator today, to do the Protectobots and Superion and the Menasor, and to be able to do all those characters. So, to me, it's one of those things that there's no character that we're not couldn't do.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of like, you know what? Everybody's open now, and it's all for us. It's more about how does the character fit in the story that we're moving forward with, and just picking the right time and place to put that character and release him put those characters in the story, and then be able to do it in the toy line.
I tell you, the two characters that I would love to do, but it's sad that they died in such an epic way in the IDW series, are the Wreckers, Topspin and Twin Twist. I think they would make for awesome additions to the Combiner Wars. But it's one of those things that Jerry pointed to the story. It's like, but those guys just died in such a glorious way. Like, how in the world would that work? But I, just as a toy guy, like those guys, and then obviously,
they could do with some love.
They could.
Topspin and Twin Twist. They could use a little bit of love.
They sure could. I mean, and honestly, that just like any fan, I think about my happy memories that I had with Topspin as a kid, like playing in the sandbox. And actually, that's funny.
I don't put him in the sandbox.
No. Seriously, I have this funny story. I was digging up an area, like I was going to plant a garden with my wife, and I was digging there, and I encountered like a random Hot Wheels car. I think it was like a Dukes of Hazzard car with one wheel or something like that. And then I kept digging, and I found a Twin Twist.
Wow.
With it's like, so some kid must have buried it. Maybe he thought it was a digging machine. So I took it to the sink, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. It was like somebody who lived in my house before or something. So I cleaned it up with a toothbrush, and I let it dry on the sink and stuff like that. And then I bring my three-year-old over. I'm like, what the heck? Let me pull this guy for a spin. I pull it back, still ratcheted. Wow. Still go, and then it flipped and kicked and stood up. It had been buried in the sand for like 20 hours. I couldn't believe it.
Been buried in the sand.
It was great. I was like, wow, that thing got buried, and it still worked. So I was like, and I was transported right back to all the times I played with those guys as a kid, and backseat of my parents' car on the way to the mall, to get a jean jacket or something. It was like, so it's like when you think about characters you want to do, you have to tap into that personal nostalgia, but you also have to talk to fans, like we do here at San Diego or BotCon, and listen to people, blogs and boards, and you hear these passionate stories, and you hear about the characters, and if you start to notice patterns, you realize, wow, this is a character that needs updated, and obviously, like, listening is a big piece of it. But yeah, this is strictly nerd out, I would say, those two characters.
Cool. Those are good ones. Platinum Edition Trypticon. Let's talk about him for a minute.
Yep.
So now you guys drove that release, right? So that wasn't a Takara release that you guys imported.
Yep.
Right? You drove Trypticon, right?
Yeah, we drove it. I think when what happened was Takara they'll let us know which molds are still available. I believe that character there's like 22 molds for that character, I think, and if that's the right number. And I think they had found 19 of the 22 original molds.
Wow.
And so we talked.
Right.
We talked about. So they just kind of show us stuff. Hey, we found this mold. Because some of these molds go back 30 years, 25, 20 years. They're stored in warehouses. So and so when you look at it, they came across Trypticon because we started inquiring about certain old characters. Like, hey, do you have this mold? Do you have this mold? And they found it. And so it's something that we're like, wouldn't it be awesome to re-release that character, the original character? We haven't had a release of that character in so long. And so we drove it with them, and we worked together, and we recreated the other mold, the missing molds that were in order to complete the toy. So it's going to be a fun release to have Trypticon, the original Trypticon, come out. And coming out later this year in Platinum Edition.
Perfect. Yeah, I look forward to buying them.
Yeah.
Trypticon's one of the holes in my collection. So
yeah, that's
the best kind of re-release. Whenever there's one that I don't have.
That's what we hear from a lot of people. Like some of those characters that are just there wasn't maybe a lot of them released, or and they haven't been re-released in so long that they're just missing. People are missing them. It gives them a chance to buy them complete collections and stuff. Yeah.
Thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I absolutely love the work you're doing.
Awesome, man.
You're doing a
Yeah.
fantastic job.
Thanks,
So I
man.
appreciate the chance to talk to you.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.
Great show,
Enjoy the show.